Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
We do have you on to talk golf, and of course, being the new interim director of the USAMTour here in the Cleveland and Akron area. Now, I know you've been involved with the sport for 13 years, but speak more to, for people that don't know, what is that USAMTour, and how do guys get on to that golf tour?
Well, sure. We are a nationwide tour, the largest amateur tour in the country. We have over 6,700 members across 45 cities. You can go to USAMTour.com. There's a registration process where you become a member of the tour. And what you do is that actually makes you eligible to play in any tournament across the country. We have 6 divisions under 50 and 6 over 50, where you play basically within your handicap group, gross scores for winning. And you're competing toward, if you're familiar with the FedEx Cup, I kind of equate it to the FedEx Cup. You play in tournaments for points, and then the points come back to your local tour. And there's many iterations that allow you to qualify for our national championship, which is a 4-round tournament. This year, we're going to be at Paiute in Las Vegas. Fabulous facility if you've ever played desert golf, but great facility beginning of October. So again, you just become a member and you sign up to your handicap group and again, start playing golf.
And I know, like we were just talking about, Pittsburgh and Cleveland, but I know you guys are working in conjunction with Pittsburgh right now as you're kind of getting into the role and kind of getting feet wet with your responsibilities. What have you guys kind of scheduled together, or how is that connection kind of been, and how has it maybe helped amp up the tour a little bit?
Well, we tried to schedule ourselves where, because we're such close proximity, we weren't scheduling tournaments on the same week. So we tried to alternate our schedule so that some people from Pittsburgh could come to Cleveland and vice versa. For example, last week we had our first tournament. We were Chippewa. We had 45 participants, and I would say probably about a third of them came over from Pittsburgh. So again, we try to support each other. One of the tournaments we're playing the beginning of June, we're going to Latrobe Country Club in Pittsburgh, or near Pittsburgh, which is the home of Arnold Palmer. That's going to be a very popular tournament. Again, we had a lot of people from Cleveland go over last year, and doesn't surprise me if we won't see a number of people go over there to Cleveland this year.
And getting to go to venues like that, the home of Arnold Palmer, what other type of venues are maybe you most excited for this year, or that you've gotten to experience in connection with the tour, even yourself, that you kind of have that extra energy to them, or that extra history to them, that are so you're kind of proud to say that you got a chance to go to that golf course?
Well, we have what's called 2-day majors, which is essentially a double points for people when you play. And we've already had tournaments at TPC Sawgrass. We've been at Kiowa. We will be doing a 2-day major in Ohio, our first one, where we're playing Avalon Lakes, which is where the LPGA used to play. And actually myself, you mentioned Longhorns here. I got Longhorns on. I'm from San Antonio. I'm going to TPC San Antonio the 3rd week of May. So I'll be there visiting family and playing that course. So I'm excited about that. I personally played TPC Sawgrass. We've been at PGA National, PGA West, TPC Scottsdale. So we play, Pinehurst. How could I forget Pinehurst? We play some fabulous courses in regards to where the pros play. And that's really what excites me about this tour, is the fact that you can go and play these same courses. And that means a lot to me, because especially when I'm watching on TV, you see a guy in the middle of the fairway. My wife will say, "Oh, do you recognize that hole?" I'll say, "No, I wasn't in the fairway of that hole, so I don't really recognize it." Okay, I'm usually left or right. So, but I do recognize the layout of the hole. I just don't play it like the pros do.
Now, have you guys had anyone from your tournament make the jump to the pros?
I can't say that I've known of anyone. Now, I do know, if you recognize the name Russell Knox from the tour, his dad plays on our tour. So I've played with him a couple times, Mike Knox. So it's really neat that there are some pro players' dads that are on our tour.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
So and with the players on the tour, I mean, is there still an avenue to do that? I know you haven't seen anyone or know of anyone that's made the jump, but is there that avenue to kind of be picked up? Is there any eyes from the PGA or some of the professional tours that these guys could get that opportunity?
Well, if you play in the championship portion of our tour, which is a 0 to 4 handicap, we've had guys that have shoot under par. So you never know. That could be a stepping stone to the Corn Ferry Tour, maybe to get yourself started, and then a stepping stone to the pros if you're good enough to play there.
Now, speaking of kind of getting started, to kind of, I guess, rewind all the way back to getting started in golf in general. Like I said, I know you've been involved for 13 years. For guys like us that haven't had an opportunity to golf, I know my family wasn't into it, even though I had golf clubs passed down from my grandfather. My 31 years, I've never seen my grandfather golf in a single day in that lifetime. So what would you say is the best way for a person that really wants to get in the sport? What is the best pathway, whether affordable or maybe paying a little bit more money, to really get in the sport and try to take it up?
Well, first thing is obviously get yourself a set of nice clubs. Now, you can go to Golf Galaxy and different places like that. They have used clubs. I believe Second Swing is another place that you go. Buy yourself a set of clubs. And then with the mass of media that you can watch, just start watching some people with golf swings in the social media. There's a lot of places. Golf Digest does stuff. Golf Pass is another one where you can watch online lessons and then just kind of develop a swing and understand a little bit how to play. Once you get into that, if you want to get a little more serious, then you start talking about going to lessons. When I first started, I bought a set of golf clubs at a garage sale. And, I had some friends that were playing, so it was just a way for me to learn how to play. I was playing softball with a lot of friends, suffered an injury, and figured I need to start playing something where I can't injure myself as much. And that's why I ended up taking up golf.
That's the
and,
reason.
Took some lessons.
That's the reason I'm starting golf. I tore my Achilles playing golf or softball last year. I got arthritis in my shoulder, and the doctor said, if you still want to play sports, take up golf. It's a natural swing on your arm, so it doesn't hurt so bad. It won't hurt your knees. Yep. You'll be outside exercising, walking, and enjoying yourself. He goes, trust me, you'll love it.
I pulled a hamstring playing softball when I was younger. That's the first time I'd ever injured myself. And same thing. It was okay. I don't like this feeling. I got to play something that, like you said, get yourself outside, get to hang out with your buddies. And, I really enjoyed it. I started taking it up seriously probably about 10 or 15 years after that, and then went into competition. So I've been competing, as you mentioned, probably about 13, 14 years. I've done a lot of things. I've won a lot of tournaments. And my goal was to take over this tour. I know the kind of product that I wanted, and that's the kind of product that I want to deliver to my players and my members. So that's why I have a passion for it. I have a number of players who have come to me and are excited about the fact that I'm taking over. And they've all said the same thing. I'm going to be very successful. And again, just looking for ways to build the tour.
Well, maybe one of these days we'll get a live show. We'll come out to one of your tours around here. That'd be awesome.
You know what? Love to have you guys. You can see what our tournaments are. I mentioned we played Chippewa last week. We're going to be at Hawk's Nest, Greyhawk, the Quarry, and then Sleepy Hollow. Forgot to mention them. And then for our tour championship, we will be at Firestone, the Fazio course.
Oh, wow.
The players love to go out there. Firestone's a beautiful facility. They've always treated us well. And we'll continue to go out there as long as they'll have us.
Well, we're testing out our first remote broadcast here in a couple weeks, so we'll kind of see how that goes, and we definitely want to stay in touch. Now, I do have a couple more questions for you, Ed, before we get you out of here, and I want to make sure I close out with the tour because that is the main focus of the conversation and making sure we're helping promote the U.S. Amateur Tour here in Cleveland and Akron area that you are now the interim director for. We are joined by Ed Ruper, the interim director of that tour. And before we get back into the tour, just a real quick, if you can help or not, my fiance and I, we go to Top Golf all the time, just kind of, swinging off of a tee. I have no training in swinging a driver or anything like that. I know I'm swinging more so like a baseball bat, swinging down the golf ball, like keeping that front arm more straight. What is the key to that, or, kind of getting that muscle memory, that front arm straight to kind of hit it straight and not curling off to the right every single time to the net or maybe some other bays at Top Golf?
Well, that's your swing path. And one of the things that I always like to tell people is people think the golf swing is an arm swing, and it's really not. It's more of a shoulder swing. So if you make sure you're making a good shoulder turn, a lot of times you'll hear teachers tell you, get your left shoulder to your chin. Then you're turning your body away from it. And then you're using more of your body for the swing than your arms. So what's happening is you're using your arms a lot. It's coming from an angle across the ball, creating spin, and that's why you have the ball going off to the right, or as you just mentioned, to the other base. Not that I've ever done that, but it does happen.
It's just starting out, just kind of the initial cracks at, but definitely want to take up the game. And I think that's one of our goals. And I know Jay, even Peter, our producer, that's kind of like our goal this summer. Is trying to, maybe try to play at least 9 at some point during the golf season here in Northeast Ohio. Now, getting back to the tour to kind of close things out with you, and we do appreciate you coming on tonight, Ed. Is kind of coming in as the director, what do you want our audience, just the audience in general, to know about the tour, your goals to help improve it, and where can, just kind of tell people where people can connect online and on social media?
So my goal is to grow the tour, try to grow at 10% every year. We're currently at 70 active members. So my goal is to try to get to 77. My overall goal is to get to 100. And it's shows like you, guys like you that help support us, allow us to get the message out. Again, going to USAMTour.com, you can read about the registration process. And from there, we'll get you started in the tour. I reach out to all new members. As soon as I see somebody sign up, I reach out to them, see if they have any questions, and let them know that I'm here to help them.
And I know that on Twitter, if people want to follow, especially what's going on with the tour as well, at Cleveland_tour, we have the Twitter tagged in our title here tonight with the Voice of Land, at VTL_pod. But where can they follow or find more information on any of the other social media sites as well, with links to the website, USAMTour.com?
Well, we do have USAMTour Cleveland and Instagram and Twitter. And from there, we do have links to the national website from there. So we're always posting about where we're playing, our winners. People can go out and see our winners from last week at Chippewa. And again, we're just kind of broadcasting the message as much as we can. So that's really been one of the things that I've been trying to do this year, to really get the message out.
Before we let you go, I got to ask you a question. A few weeks ago at work, we had I wouldn't say heated, but just a real intense debate on who's the greatest golfer ever. And the young kids say one thing, the older guys say another. And it's pretty much between Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus. If you have someone other than that,
Arnold Palmer throwing into that, yeah.
Who is the greatest golfer in your opinion?
Ben Snead.
Well, I'm personally going to go with Jack, and I'm just going to say is
all right,
because when he did it, the equipment was different, the competition was different, and I don't want to take anything from Tiger. I mean, a great player, great athlete, but a whole different era. So I'm going to lean toward Jack in that instance.
I always said he has the most majors, but the thing that people that overlook is how many times he came in second place for majors.
Correct.
Tiger's not even close to him. It's insane. I think it's like 17 or something, like 22 something.
Yeah,
I forget the exact number.
It is incredible.
Yeah, he was an Ohio State guy. I don't know if you knew that.
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah, I'm still a little salty over that game that we lost to years and years ago, and I couldn't remember the quarterback's name, so I had to get an Ohio State jab at you at one point. Kevin just
Of course you did.
Kevin just puts up with me here.
I was going to say before you trying to take more jabs or a guess that as a young person, Tiger Woods is the guy that got me to watch the game of golf and then interested in it. But I pride myself on trying to go back to learn the history of a sport to really understand it, and watching some of the the highlights and things that are out there that you can see and learn about Jack Nicklaus. I mean, just the utmost respect for the guys that came before, and the guys that are trying to take golf to the next level right now, and especially on the USAMTour.